ladies and gentlemen, boys.
You got the monitors on or no?
Sports fans of all ages, broadcasting live from the heart of the Duke City. It's time for a great afternoon of sports entertainment talk. Get ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports. Two Men On, with your hosts, Van Nunley and Brent Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
It's Friday, Albuquerque, and the world.
The world is here.
As we are at the 51st or 52nd International Balloon Fiesta here.
Not a math guy, don't ask me.
The COVID years, it got weird. We're at the Ballon Fiesta Park, and we're broadcasting all night long. Let's go. Now with us is Isaiah Johnson, and we're going to try to keep it that way.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent that way.
We're hanging out. We did get a run of events. It looks skydivers start at 5 and a whole bunch of stuff after that. So come down. If you are coming down to Ballon Fiesta Park, hang out with your boys. We're currently branded KKOB on everything. So
don't judge us.
Yeah, it's not us.
Not our views.
They just set it up this way.
I didn't say what they said yesterday.
Not for us. But we're excited to be here. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to give you updates on what's going on at the Fiesta, talk about the world of sports and sports adjacent contact. And before we start, big thank you for Manny, who's been here since 3 a.m.
Hey.
Manny making the show go around. Isaiah, well, you didn't have a 3 a.m. start in you? You just kind of let Manny show you up, or?
Yeah, he's been showing me up all week as far as that's concerned.
And just like
I
this.
haven't even woken up at 5.
In what way? Like looks or talent or effort? Like which one?
Well,
He's better than you in all.
Knowledge,
Yeah, all of them.
compassion.
Effort prior to noon.
Good answer. Yeah, he's really treating you the way the Yankees treated the Royals last night. That's a tough one. It's a tough one for Bobby Witt Jr., who's probably the best player in baseball outside of the best player in baseball, plays in L.A., and he sat there and watched him. He cried. He sat there and watched him while he cried.
Well, it's one of those happy to be there moments, because if they weren't beating up on the White Sox all year, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
What are you saying?
Yeah, Detroit and Kansas City. If they didn't beat up on the historically worst team in the history of baseball, they wouldn't have enough wins to get in.
So a lot of people have claimed what you are claiming. So you're going to tell me there was a team better suited to take on the Yankees of New York City than the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't believe you.
A small handful.
Were they also in the AL East?
Yeah.
Yes, they
Sure were. Yeah.
And, with the Yankees, this is lose-lose for the Yankees. Because going to 5 games with the Royals, they should have beat them in 3, right? And then they're going to go up against either the Cleveland Commanders or the whoever else is left, Detroit Tigers. And they have to beat them 2 and 3 or in 4 games. Like, there is not a way for this Yankees team, which is, by the way, payroll-wise, so much better. By the way, talent at every single position. If you looked at all of these teams and you tried to put together one super team, you would just pick the Yankees the whole way.
At least 3 of them. Out of all of MLB, 3 of the best players are on the Yankees.
Correct. Yeah. And of the 3 remaining teams in the AL, the Yankees have all the best ones. They have all the best players. I would argue they don't best manager-ish.
Jose Ramirez, he's top 5 guy.
He had 1 big hit last night.
Yeah. Tariq Skubal, he's a top 5 guy. Besides that, all the best players are on the Yankees. There's 2 other guys, and then the New York Yankees.
You're naming people that you have to explain who they are, and that's what slows it down.
It's not. I didn't do it. I didn't draft them to Cleveland and Detroit, where no one knows who they are.
Giancarlo Stanton went over to Bobby Witt Jr. after the game last night and had like a little moment with It was kind of a nice one. I think I talked a lot about this program about how there are 2 teams in Major League Baseball. One is the Yankees. The other one is the Dodgers, where it is too much of a machine. It is too corporate. It is a bunch of guys that don't care about how many wins they have. They just care about how many zeros they have in their bank account. I've been over this a million times. And Giancarlo Stanton proved me wrong last night as he went over to Bobby Witt Jr., had a real nice exchange after the game. And Bobby Witt Jr., where he currently is in Kansas City, Missouri, does not have a path in front of him to return to this stage.
Are the White Sox going to be that bad again next year? Because you could just get a bunch of free wins if you keep playing the White Sox over and over again. Bobby Witt Jr. either is going to be surrounded by the best talent, because you have to surround I mean, you learned a lesson from Mike Trout. If you don't do the same thing for Bobby Witt Jr., you're just going to repeat the Mike Trout result.
That's a different team, though. Like, if you're going to use the Kansas City example, you talk about Alex Gordon. Like, Alex Gordon should have had more help put around him. Alex Gordon
won a ship.
Well, that's a touche.
Yeah. Got there once, lost, got there another time, won it. So, I mean, that's enough. If you get one in your career, that's enough. I mean, as impossible it is to get there over and over again when you're not the Yankees and Dodgers. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is the guy you got to surround with talent, or you're just wasting your time with him. If you don't surround him with talent, he's going to have his PR person, his agent, his mom, his favorite aunt.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going to be chirping in his ear, like, you guys need to get considerably better or get the hell out of town.
Then he's a Diego Pavia link to his NIL agent, and then he'll get all figured out.
Sweet, figured out.
The Cleveland Commanders victorious over the Motor City Tigers last night, 5-4. It's all about Ramirez. I mean, in my opinion, unless you think otherwise. I don't know what that means. Say it out loud.
My audio keeps cutting out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, give me more on Ramirez in the game last night.
Yeah, that's why I did that, because I couldn't hear what you're saying.
Continue with
Because
Ramirez.
no audio.
Continue with Ramirez.
What Ramirez? I don't know what you're talking about.
The big win last night for the Guardians.
Okay, the Guardians, yeah. Forcing a Game 5. They're the only team from the Central that's supposed to be in the playoffs.
Sure.
Even if they didn't beat up on the White Sox, they still would have done well enough to get into the playoffs. And like both of these teams, like the Tigers and the Indians, like have just like shut down absolutely dominant bullpens that you have to score at the beginning of the game. Like that 1 3-run dong that Emmanuel Clase gave up is the exception, not the rule. He'd only given up 2 home runs in the first 74 innings he pitched this year. So that's just like one freak occurrence. You have to score early against either one of those teams, and they're going to go at it tomorrow for a Game 5.
The long ball was the truth last night for Cleveland. The Detroit team was feeling a little bit like a team of destiny, feeling a little bit like going to the wild card, beating up on the Astros, setting themselves up for what you'd be perceived as success in the postseason. And then to hit the, I'm not going to call it a wall that was Cleveland, but the way they're standing there and currently tied up at 2-2, you almost think momentum is the last game's victor, right? So therefore Cleveland should carry this one through on Detroit, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, you go back home, you got the momentum, and if you play like you're supposed to, like, these guys have been playing each other for over 100 years. Like, and this is the first time they've played in the playoffs. That's, if you didn't want to just advance to the next round of the playoffs, it's that, if that's not enough motivation, your first matchup ever in the playoffs, that's enough to take it over the top.
Well, and it's tough there in Ohio, too, because it's such a good sports state, right? And
Ain't got nothing else going on.
well, hold on. They got Ohio State, and that's why they're moving the game tomorrow. So tomorrow's game has been moved to 1:08 Eastern. It was originally going to be a primetime game. So I guess they were going to do the 4:08 or 4:33 or whatever. But then that was going to run into the Buckeyes game because they have the primetime game. And hey, good for the Cleveland Commanders, good for them being in the mix, good for all that history and everything. No one in Ohio cares about them the way they care about the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, I mean, that's obvious. Like, they're the number one show in town. Actually, roller coasters. So roller coasters in Ohio is the number one show in town.
You're talking
and
about
then the Ohio
Point.
State Buckeyes.
Sandusky.
I mean, the highest concentration of roller coasters anywhere in the world is the state of Ohio in the United States of America. So I think roller coasters number 1, Ohio State Buckeyes number 2, then like fried food 3.
Okay, like carnival
fried food 3 and 4, and then probably Guardians 5.
The weirdest part about this whole thing is the organization, the Cleveland Guardians, they're claiming weather as the reason. And you look on like any Doppler out there, and there's
not a drop,
not a cloud in the sky. Also, with like current events, like don't claim weather. Like, be classier than that. Just like say it the way it is. And maybe I'm a little conspiracy here, but say, listen, there's Big Ten football that night. Ohio State is playing. We are not confused. We want you, Ohioan and Ohioite, Ohioness. I don't know what a person from Ohio is called, but we want you to be able to celebrate both of those things. Say that. Like, don't claim you're worried about lake effect snow or whatever.
It's not Ohio State, Michigan, is it? Is it the Ohio State, Michigan
Well,
game?
here's the thing.
If it's not that one, like support playoff baseball.
Michigan also is booty, so no one's really staying up for that one. That's not the game.
Ohio State versus Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 versus 3.
I'd still rather watch playoff baseball. Like, that's not even close, but
Well,
I get Ohioan.
if they get the win on that, then in 2 weeks, it's going to be them versus Penn State, which is going to be a top 5 team. And then you're going to end up setting yourself up for playoffs forever. And even though you're in playoffs in the baseball, Ohio Knight don't care. They don't care about baseball.
Ohio Knight.
I think they do. I think they care a lot, but they care way more about Ohio State football, or they wouldn't have changed the game.
Yeah.
If the Cleveland Don't You Dare Call Me Indians are that important to the state of Ohio, like, you're moving the Buckeyes, not moving the Cleveland baseball organization.
Ohio State's been so good for so long that people from Ohio, like, that's one of the bragging points of being from Ohio is you rep Ohio State. It's like it's a pretty big deal out there.
Well, in Oregon, this makes it a Big Ten matchup.
Yeah.
Weird
big
sentence.
matchup.
So dumb.
2 versus 3.
It's not that I hate that sentence. It's that it's the first time I've ever said it. I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't want a mid-game rain delay. I'll shoot you straight. Like, I don't want that. Like, that to me is bad for playoff baseball. It's bad for managing. It's bad for setting yourself up for, I think they play, whoever wins plays on Monday. Is that correct?
Yeah, they go right back at it.
Or no, it's Sunday. So they play, Monday. So the NL plays 2 of them.
Yeah.
So the NL plays Sunday, and then they play Monday, and then the AL plays Monday night.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 2 NL games, 1 completed, 1 started, then the AL at night. Also, tough bite for the AL to go up against Monday Night Football. I don't know who's playing on Monday Night Football, but again,
it'll draw more than playoff
it'll
baseball.
draw more.
The Jaguars and Browns will draw more on Monday Night Football than playoff baseball will.
100%.
Guaranteed.
The Yankees and the Tigers, I'm assuming, the Yankees and the Tigers on Monday night is not the draw. The only time it's a draw in that series is if the Yankees are looking at elimination. And I don't mean eliminating the Tigers. I mean up against it.
Yeah, and I'm not some, like, belligerent hardcore football fan who's talking smack about the game of baseball.
No.
I love baseball.
Sure, same.
It's going to be the ALCS. It's going to be the NLCS. I don't miss a lot of playoff baseball. I will be watching, but I will be the exception, not the rule. Everyone else will be watching Monday Night Football. And a lot of sports fan, especially like average sports fan, your casual sports fan, might not even know that baseball's on.
Well, maybe that's what they say. They say, hey, we're actually worried about the shade tomorrow, the shade that the Ohio State game is going to cast on our broadcast. So we're going to go ahead and do it at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, the overwhelming shadow over the whole state of Ohio, that kind of shade.
Well, there you go. Big storm expected to hit. When we get back from the break, we continue from the Balloon Fiesta. A lot going on in the world of football. We will talk about that. NFL full slate all weekend. Although you get kind of a cool reprieve in the afternoon because there's only 3 afternoon games. So, like, hang out with your kids. Go touch grass. Like, you can live an actual life a little bit. That's going to be exciting for you. Also, college football is on the mark. News of the day is not tremendous on a Friday, but we'll find something to laugh at. Live from Balloon Fiesta, it's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Fall is a great time for making s'mores for kids in a new fire pit. JPR.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the Balloon Fiesta. We are broadcasting live, talking the world of sports. Also, a lot of fun things going on tonight. We have a balloon globe, man.
Good news, guys. I was worried it wasn't the Balloon Fiesta, only like the delicious snack fiesta.
Okay, no.
For a while, but breaking news, the vans are dropping off baskets.
Oh, I like it.
The crews are getting ready to set up for the glow. We are in full swing, boys. Let's go.
Now, if you're listening to us on an AM, thank you. That is kind of you to tune in, and you can because our tower still exists.
Yeah.
That's a thing that is real, but our counterparts on the other side of the glass, not just like physically, but politically, KKOB, their tower was attacked by the Harris campaign today.
Sure. These liberal ballooners knocking down our towers.
Now, I need a little insight here. Now, Manny, you don't have to put your microphone down, but you can just shake your head yes or no to these questions. Now, was this a permanent KKOB tower, or was this a pop-up one specifically for the Balloon Fiesta? Specifically for the Balloon Fiesta. No, it was the permanent one. Okay. So the AM tower, and let me explain to you how towers work, man.
Thank you.
All right, so you have to put them into the dirt. The further
to ground them.
You have to ground them.
Yes.
That is exactly correct. Now, is the ground still there, Manny? It is not still there. It has been pulled out. Okay. Will there ever be AM KKOB political talk again? Okay, there will, but we don't have a timeline. Okay, so should Van and I be worried that you're going to hijack the KNML Sports Animal AM signal, give it to KKOB if that's not up and running by election night? Now, you realize that's only 25 days away. Okay. Will there be AM conservative talk radio on election night? Probably is your answer.
I'm glad you're giving Manny's answers as we're going along because I love this mute act by Manny right now. It's fantastic.
So they knocked it. All right. So the I don't know if you saw this morning. So the balloon hits it. It goes down like yelling timber. It goes down. And then the balloon, and by the way, everyone's fine.
Yeah, everyone's fine.
Like everyone's fine.
Fortunately.
Now, I don't know enough about, but 505-246-0610. I don't know enough about Balloon Fiesta ballooning insurance. I don't know how it works.
Got to be steep.
It's got to be, right?
Something happens every year.
There's always
a power line. There's always a tower. There's always a tree. There's always a basket getting ripped up by something and falling to the ground.
Yes. So, I am also willing to cover the election on election night right here on KNML if we need to. I will do it.
Fair and balanced.
Is that a phrase that I don't know from something?
That's from Fox News.
I don't have a ton of exposure to that. I feel like if I were to get on and say, listen, we knew you were out to get the KKOB tower the whole time, fill in the blank Democrat.
Right.
I could make that radio go over.
Yeah. Nice try, MLG.
Yeah.
I got that tower right back up.
There's actually a spare tower that we've kept this whole time.
Who's behind this? George Soros.
Yeah. There's so many KKOB listeners right now that are like, "What is FM?
Is it why?
How do I do it? How do I get to 96.3? Like, what do I need to do?"
Oh, I thought you meant they're KKOB listeners to us right now. We're like, "Preach, Van." George Soros is behind the whole balloon fiasco, trying to knock down our beautiful towers.
Benches cleared last night during Game 4 of Kansas City and the New York Yankees. It was a super soft slide into second base, and then a bunch of cats getting out and talking about it for a second. It's not the most eventful thing, but it was nice of Kansas City, I guess, to look tough. I don't super think I get it.
I mean, if you're getting beaten up on the field, like, do you want to get beat up on the field too? Are you going to mess with Giancarlo Stanton,
no,
Aaron Judge?
They're big boys.
They'll knock out 6 of your guys right there. Like, then you're at a huge disadvantage. No, you're not going to mess with them. But you got to act like you're going to.
Well, at the end of it, they said, couldn't this bench clearing just been an email?
Yeah, that's a thing they probably did say.
This is a nice little jog. Also, if you listen to Bob Costas talk, you think Aaron Judge can't run at all. You think the way he describes him in the outfield, what does he say? He says laboring. What did he say the other day? He's bobbling over. Like, he doesn't have the verbiage that he had days gone by to give you professional sporting. Does not have.
I think he's going to be like the next commentator on Antonio Brown's CT ESPN. Bob Costas ain't right no more. He used to be like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, baseball specifically. Olympics, fantastic.
Yeah.
I know it, but like
Could do it in basketball.
Baseball specifically is like, damn, Bob Costas got some chops, man.
The last time,
Yankees Royals series is like some of his worst work,
it's some of his worst.
if not the.
Yeah, out to pasture, really. He said last night in the broadcast, he said, I haven't seen this much animosity between Yankees and Royals since the Revolutionary War.
Okay, well, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's quality work, right?
He actually didn't say that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You should have. That's a good line.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. We are here at the Ballon Fiesta Park. It's been an absolute banger to the start of the day. Picnic tables are filling up. Balloons are going onto the field. And I had to go in through the pass gate just a minute ago. There's a lot of people out there.
There's going to be more and more and more and more. This is Friday night at the Ballon Fiesta, baby. It's going to be rocking.
This is absolutely one of one, and it's going to be a good one. Find your parking spot, grab one of those VIP shuttles, come over. Park and Ride is always your best assistant in it. Get early, see all these fun vendors, and then from there, everything will be fun. It'll be golden.
People from all over the world here, but also people from Albuquerque who walked by and said hi earlier on segment. Sorry, I didn't say hi. I was doing the program.
Yeah, I got to work.
That you're familiar with.
It's my seventh one. This is my seventh Ballon Fiesta. And, I think a lot of townies, a lot of locals, they go Ballon Fiasco, right? That's the verbiage they use. They say, I don't like traffic, or they never travel anywhere, but something Sunport, there's always whatever reasons. And I'm going to tell you, this being my seventh year, and I think I've gone multiple times every single year, and this is my second visit this week, it is top tier. It is as unique of an experience as you can have. And I'm going to say, visually, there's a lot of similarities every year. I'm not going to say there's not. Like, the vendor row looks the same. Museum was kind of the same games, like all these things. But
balloons are mostly shaped the same.
Well,
there's a science to it.
Yeah, not at 6:30 though. When they do the special shapes glow, that's tonight.
Super stoked.
Doing that thing tonight. That's going to be good. So come see us if you're tuned in to us on the AM. That's because KKOB is not here. KKOB is not here, but we are efforting that. This is no punchline. A balloon hit the tower this morning.
That is accurate. That is a real thing that happened. Still love Ballon Fiesta.
Same. Regardless of their political beliefs.
Take out all of our towers.
That's how I say it. Whenever we get back, it's 5 o'clock hour. That's the teller hour. We're going to talk about the world of NFL football. It's Two Men On, live from the Ballon Fiesta, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel. putting money on that?
95.9 FM and AM 610.
At least half.
Come on.
Next time.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We are live at the Balloon Fiesta, and the people, they are pouring in. Also, I think somebody's in the parking lot selling those weird inflatable chairs that you have to do a merry-go-round with to get them inflated with air. Do you know what I'm talking about?
There are so many people struggling with this thing. It's like it's phallic. It's very phallic shaped. But you whip it around in circles and try to fill it with air and then close it really fast. And these guys are not good at it.
No, they are.
But it is, I'll tell you what, it is entertaining watching these guys trying to fill these air bags.
It's like grown dudes who struggle. A lot of people around us here at the KKOB Broadcast Center in Balloon Fiesta Park, they can't hear us because Manny's on the phone, but he's going to turn the monitor up soon. We're having an absolute blast with it. We're talking the world of NFL football and college football. Remainder of the program. Also, whenever the balloons start to go up, we're going to give you our fun analysis of that. Van, you watched Thursday Night Football last night?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I was doing some choring, and then I hung out with the kiddo. So that was like the first one of the year I missed. As a friend of the show knows, I had the day off yesterday because I went with the Dirty Boys of Filling the Holes, and we played Paco.
Oh, okay.
Paco Ridge Golf Course on the other side of the mountain, and it was beautiful and fantastic. And shout out to our boy Dylan out there at Paco for enjoying a beautiful day on the backside of the mountain. Played all 27 holes, Fred.
That seems like a lot.
It's a lot of holes.
We played Ladera this morning. Ladera?
Oh, yeah. Very familiar.
And Mo Maestas had his golf tournament over there, went over there and hung out, had a heck of a time with that. Big thank you to everyone who was out supporting that. I think it was like 120-something people or whatever. And I'm like, are there enough holes out here?
Yeah.
Like, are there?
120 people's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
You usually don't want to do more than like 72.
No.
72 keeps the flow going on a golf tournament.
And I'm like the preeminent.
If people want to help, then people are going to help. You're not going to tell them, no, you can't play in my golf tournament. You can't support a good cause.
I agree with what you're saying. 49ers dominated early. The Seahawks did have a bit of a comeback late, 36-24, where the Seahawks out in front. Geno Smith, I think, has fallen from grace completely at this point. He seems to be Geno Smith of Jets. He is not a guy that I trust at all. Also, the defense there in Seattle, if you give up the ball, you can't expect the defense to get it back for you every time. 49ers in control throughout. Also, I know this cat named Matthew Wright. He kicked like 25 field goals last night for the Niners, so that dude's pretty good. It was an absolute banger of a game. Did not suck as far as Thursday night games go. And keeping that divisional football on Thursdays, I think, is the move for the NFL.
Sure.
Because you would have lost me a lot earlier if I didn't think in any divisional game there could always be something at the end.
I mean, they're both 3-3 now, right? Like, there's so much parity in the West, mostly because the 49ers are just so beat up. Like, they got injury after injury after injury. So, I mean, them being at 500, and then the Seahawks with what they've been dealing with, like them being at 500, everyone is in the thick of it in the West. I mean, my Arizona Cardinals, my upstart team this year, big Kyler Murray guy this year, they're right in the mix. Like the whole division can compete. And when, like you said, when you got a division game on Thursday, it makes it that much more fun, makes it that much more interesting. How many better games can you schedule than Niners Seahawks on a Thursday?
No, well, and like you mentioned, I mean, I think it's the reason that people are tuning in, especially on Major League Baseball playoff night. Not to be like an old man right here, but I'm about to hit you with some old man energy. I don't want to jump back and forth on commercial breaks from the Amazon app to the Hulu app to do the whole thing. So when I'm at the house, I just have it on the Hulu. Like, I'm not trying to go from streaming platform to streaming platform to watch different whatevers. Now, if they were all in the same place, might have been a different story. I might have went back and forth there a couple times, but I did not last night. Last night, give me ALDS and NLDS, and that's the only thing I caught after I left Sadie's.
Well, I don't blame you for that. Like baseball, playoff baseball over anything in sports. I don't care how good Thursday night football is. Give me playoff baseball every time. Obviously, like, we're at Sadie's every Thursday. I wasn't there yesterday, but every Thursday. We're at Sadie's every Thursday, like having a blast watching Thursday night football in the bar. Like, there's very few things are as fun as that. But also, Give me playoff baseball over football.
Or
Let's go.
give me one spot where I can watch every single game. Like we're at and no offense to a football fan who, football versus the world or football over everything, because football's fine. You get the one day, you get Sundays.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the same app as baseball, I'm tuned into you. If I have to double click my home button on my Apple TV and back out and start another app, and I don't really trust the pinwheel anyways, and here it comes to the new, just not for me.
Skydivers at landing are all over the place.
Yeah.
There's like a little breeze. I wouldn't call it wind, but there's a breeze, and they're pushing the skydivers all over the field. This is really cool to see.
Yeah, kind of a cool one here. The fireworks just went off. The skydivers coming in. There's special exemption. There's special exemption for Ballon Fiesta Park every year at this time because this is flight path for the Sunport International Airport. I guess they're not international, Sunport Airport. But yeah, it's a super cool start to this one. People out in droves already. And speaking of football, kids playing a pickup game of two-hand touch right here. Individuals from all over the country joined in one place. And yeah, it's a unique one. And the one from last night is over, and we move on to the ones this weekend. We'll start with the Sunday games. Let's start early with the 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Is that right? Did I do that right?
I believe so, yes.
So what's that, 7:30 here?
7:30 here.
Jacksonville and Chicago playing over the pond. And it is, it's basically even money out there. I think Chicago is favored by